Hello and welcome back to Larissa's Kitchen. What's next on the parade of sandwiches, you ask? Well, that would be Southwestern chicken paninis. Now we've got a mayonnaise sauce we need to make first, and then we'll make the chicken paninis later on. So let's get started with those ingredients. Okay, we need to start with about 1.5 cups of mayonnaise. Now I'm using Hellmann's roll mayonnaise, just don't use salad dressing. We're also going to add 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar, about 2 tablespoons of white granulated sugar, and 2 chipotle peppers in their adobo sauce. Now, if you don't like this quite so spicy, you can go down to 1 chipotle pepper or even just 1/2 of a chipotle, or even just using maybe 1 tablespoon of the adobo sauce. So let's get putting all these ingredients in this food processor and get it processed till it's smooth. Alright, let's start assembling these paninis. Now, technically speaking, these are really not paninis because I'm not using sourdough, nor am I using a panini press. But any sturdy bread will work, and I actually find a griddle and a sandwich press to be easier to use and much easier to clean up than a panini press. So let me show you what you're going to need. Okay, you are going to need a whole chicken breast off of a rotisserie chicken, maybe more depending on how many people you're feeding, and we'll slice this up pretty thickly. You're also going to need sliced pepper jack cheese, the bread of your choice, pesto, either homemade or store-bought is fine, and then this prepared mayonnaise that we made just a little bit earlier this afternoon. Now, it's much easier to use a griddle and a sandwich press than a panini press, simply because this is so much more easy to clean up. So let's get started putting these together. Okay, we want these pieces to be thick enough that they're going to make a nice sandwich, but we don't want them too thick, and we certainly don't want these sliced too thinly. So I'm doing these in about 1/4 inch thick slices. Yes, I'm a robot. Okay, the sandwich is fairly easy to assemble. We need the pesto on one side and the mayonnaise on the other. Alright, and we are going to put the chicken on the mayonnaise side. Alright, then 1 to 2 slices of this pepper jack cheese. Now, my sandwich is actually quite large, so I'm going to be using 2 full slices of pepper jack cheese on here. And I'm going to turn that. Okay, and then the top half of your sandwich goes together. Alright, let's get this over to the griddle and get it cooking. Okay, like our grilled cheese episode, we're going to put a fair amount of butter on 1/2 of this, and then that half is going down, and then when we turn it over, we're not going to need to add any more butter. Now, I've got my griddle going on over, this is my biggest burner, and it's on pretty low heat. I don't want it to be too hot, but I want it to heat up all of the griddle here. And also, to make this sandwich better, I've got my sandwich press on over very low heat, because we want this sandwich press to heat up so that when we turn our sandwich over and put the sandwich press on top, the heat from the sandwich press continues to cook the other side and melt the cheese or heat up the chicken or whatever it is that your sandwich has on it. So let's get this going on the griddle. Alright, I don't want this to burn the bread before everything heats up on the inside and the cheese melts, so I'm actually going to turn this just a little bit lower. That way nothing will brown as quickly, but it will still continue to heat at a nice low rate. Okay, and like all grilled sandwiches, we have to put it down and leave it down. Can't be checking it. Otherwise, as soon as you break contact with the griddle, that bread will no longer brown nearly as nicely. So we've got to leave it down there and just let it go. Okay, you can see the cheese is starting to melt here, and I'm starting to get bubbles from the butter. So I'm going to check this. It's probably ready to turn over. Yes, that's nice and dark. Okay. All right, that looks beautiful. And now I'm going to go ahead and, that's a little hot, and put the sandwich press on it. Okay, we're going to let this go probably for about 5 minutes, which is about how long it was on the first side. All right, let's check this. That is done perfectly. You can see. I don't know if you can. All right, let's take this over and get it cut up and tasted. Okay, let's give this chicken panini a taste. Now you can see I've got potato chips here. You could also use a dill pickle to finish this off, or even some pepperoncini peppers would be spectacular too. This is so good. Okay, the two cats are optional. All right, 2 chicken breasts.